just... Uh, oh, great. I have 59 minutes left on this thing. Curse storage issues. I gotta post some videos, and then once I get that situated, and... What the heck? When did Dune get added to Netflix? I'm getting off topic. Anyway, so just... Forgive me if I'm just, like... just acting stressed out, just... This week's not gone to plan, and... Ooh, Godzilla vs. Kong. Unfortunately, that's leaving Netflix on the last day of December. Okay, again, off topic still. So just, yeah, life's been stressful. So is school, but this... Where do I begin? I will say this. I had a ton of videos planned I wanted to make this week. Like, for example, catch up with my review series for Harry Potter, but also the DC films we've gotten this year. And just, I could have gotten it all done, but just, I don't know. I've just not been myself lately. I mean, I have been thinking about wanting to take a break from YouTube, which, if I plan on doing that, I will definitely post a video to let y'all know. I did address this in my update video a while back, but just, I don't know. I'm definitely planning on, doing some changes once 2024 rolls around. Hopefully there'll be a better year than 2023. But just still, yeah, I had a ton of videos I wanted to make this week, like do a review for Shazam 2, The Flash, Blue Beetle. Now, it's not too much work. I try not to fill in too many videos that I'd be making all week, but so, yeah, I'm gonna have to just postpone all that to 2024. Not in January. That is gonna be too much for me. I'm gonna need to plan out January once I get a planner for 2024, as I used up this entirety of this, as you can see right here, but, yeah, I'm definitely going to be postponing some videos to 2024, but the one video that I definitely should make around this time of year would be Iron Man 3. Well, I mean, by Iron Man 3, I'm talking about my review for Iron Man 3, as I meant to make that back in May. Unfortunately, I think, actually, I may have possibly made a video of it, but I had to delete it due to storage issues, which sucked. But no, I remember I was trying to make this video back in May, but unfortunately had to delete due to storage. But this is kind of a perfect time for me just to make this because, agree to disagree, Iron Man 3 is a straight up Christmas movie. Sure, it takes place around the holiday season, but doesn't mean it's a Christmas movie. It is to me, like how Spider-Man is a Thanksgiving movie, or the Batman is a Halloween movie. We're just gonna have to agree to disagree. But anyways, before I talk about my thoughts on Iron Man 3, which I did just finish watching the movie, by the way, because one, I figured I would need to watch the movie just to talk about my thoughts on this, even though I wrote notes on it back in May. And two, like I said earlier, it's a Christmas movie. The Christmas is kind of around the corner in almost a week from now. Well, not really. It's about 2 weeks away, but it's pretty much around the corner. I mean, it is the holiday season. But it is currently 12:24 a.m. I should be in bed right now, as it's a school night, but I need to film this video, but I'm not going to stay up late editing it, as I'll edit tomorrow sometime at school, and after filming this, I'm going to be watching Kung Fu Panda 3, and I may or may not possibly stay up late just to get my reaction for Kung Fu Panda 4, as we're going to get the trailer in a few hours from now. What the heck did I just pick up from the ground? Oh, it's a weird looking thing. Why am I messing with it? And I'm just realizing that my dad is most likely seeing this video and be like, "Oh, son, why are you up late?" Like, just, I'm sorry, Dad, but I gotta film this, and I'm really gonna go to bed right after I finish watching Kung Fu Panda 3, which will most likely be at 1, which is not good. But hey, I'm gonna get up as soon as I hear my alarm. The thing's on, right? Yeah, the thing's fine. This is terrible for me. I shouldn't be doing this, but then I've already... Oh, wait, when was the last time I filmed a video in the middle of the night? I cannot remember at the moment. Anyways, that being said, let's cut the chit-chat and get on with my thoughts for Iron Man 3. Which, yeah, I did took notes, which I could go off script, but okay, whenever I would say I would try to go off script, I then would have to look on the thing and be like, oh, wait, I got look on the thing. I'm terrible at going off script. But let's just try. Let's just see if I can do a good job of going off script. Alright, so quick recap on Phase 1. So the only movies I recall seeing in theaters would most likely be Captain America, Thor, and The Avengers. As for Iron Man, The Incredible Hulk, and Iron Man 2, I don't think I saw in theaters. I don't even know if I saw those in theaters. But I mean, there's a possibility I could have saw one of them in theaters, but I'm most likely betting that I saw all three of them on DVD. As for the ones I definitely recall seeing in theaters would be Captain America, the First Avenger, Thor, and the Avengers. Most likely the Avengers, definitely. And what about Iron Man 3? Did I saw that in theaters? Oh, hell yes, I definitely saw this in theaters. As Iron Man 3 would be one of my favorite movies that came out in 2013. As, like, if I had to do, like, a top 3 favorite superhero movie list, I'd have Man of Steel, Iron Man 3, and the Wolverine on there. Now, I am aware that we got 4 superhero movies come out that year. Dead last is going to be Thor: The Dark World. Yeah, anyways, moving on. Before I could talk about my thoughts on the movie, let's talk about my experience going into this. So, yeah, I was shocked to find out that they were making a third movie. In fact, once I saw this poster, yeah, I was jumping up and down, excited that we're getting another Iron Man movie. But like the way this poster was just showing off his apartment, well, not apartment, his house, mansion actually being destroyed. Yeah, I was basically thinking to myself, oh snap, we're in the end game now. This is the end for Iron Man. So basically, I was losing my over again, excited for Iron Man 3, and I kind of lost my even more once I saw the trailers where, yeah, they were destroying this mansion, and it basically was like the end game. And it will make sense, guys. This would be the final chapter in the trilogy, as this is a thing with most trilogies. Once we enter the third entry of the trilogy, yeah, bets all off. We're just in the end game now. If you know what I'm saying. Now, the movie did come out around May of 2013, but around Halloween of 2013, me and my brother dressed up as Iron Man and Iron Patriot, also known as War Machine. And I swear I have oh my god, I hope I have a photo somewhere. I know I have a photo somewhere in my room, or I may have had my mom send me a photo. Oh my god, I had this prepared back in May. Son of a bitch. But as I said earlier, I definitely recall seeing this in theaters. Yeah, that I have no issues of remembering. I definitely saw this in theaters. Possibly once or twice. I don't know how many times. I'm betting it's either once or twice. Man of Steel, possibly 3 times as I'm betting. But most likely it could have been twice in theaters. But I'm betting I saw it at least 3 times in theaters. Unless those were Jurassic World. No, wait, that movie came out in 2015, not in 2013. Anyways, now let's get on with my thoughts with the movie. So, we're going to start off with the pros. Right off the bat, this is definitely an improvement over Iron Man 2. Not as good as the first one, as the first one is definitely the best one in the trilogy, but it's a definite improvement over Iron Man 2, which I had a soft spot over, which I think I do. I forgot what I said in my Iron Man 2 review, but once I saw that recently this year, I was like, okay, I could see why not many people enjoy this movie, and it would make sense how that movie was affected by the writer's strike, because that movie came, yeah, they were filming that around 2009, and we had a writer's strike happening at that time. Kind of crazy how we also had a writer's strike this year, but thank God that ended. But like I said, Iron Man 3 is definitely an improvement over Iron Man 2. Not as good as the first, but definitely an improvement over the second one. As for RDJ, no, yeah, he's fantastic as always as Iron Man. In fact, the MCU would not exist without Robert Downey Jr. Like, he's the reason why Marvel Studios exists. Kevin Feige was talking about this with Jon Favreau as they were talking about in a video about the first Iron Man film, but I saw this on TikTok. I don't know where I could find the clip.
It wasn't really until we cast Robert that I fully understood what the take was. And once it was Robert, then it was like, I know what every decision became a lot easier.
Should we talk about that? Because I think that's probably one of the greatest decisions in the history of Hollywood. And everybody has good days and bad days. And I remember on later movies, we'll talk about on 15th anniversary of those, there were dark days. And I would say to Robert, we wouldn't be in this mess if it wasn't for you. Meaning, we wouldn't have a studio if it wasn't for him.
That's true.
Or you.
But seriously though, the MCU would not exist without Robert Downey Jr. And that is a straight up fact. Like, pretty much, if I were to meme this out, Robert Downey Jr. built the MCU in the cave with his performance in Iron Man. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but you get the idea. Also, not gonna lie, I am legit a huge fan of the Mark 42 suit now. I don't know if it's one of the best Iron Man suits. That's up for debate, as I would have to do a ranking list of all Iron Man suits. Which, how many has Tony made? I'm gonna have to watch a video just to see. But no, actually, though, I am legit a huge fan over the Mark 42 suit. It's definitely just badass looking, but I also feel like it's been done dirty a little bit in this movie. Like, this suit is actually cool looking, and I'm like thinking of it, like the way this movie had played out with the suit, as he was barely in the suit and throughout the entire movie, Tony, I mean, and I'm just like, oh my god, this suit looks amazing. It's kind of being done dirty a little bit. It's just have to say that right off the bat. That suit is just gorgeous looking. As for my favorite sequences for this movie, one would be the plane sequence as Tony's trying to save all 13 people that are falling from the sky from the air as they got ejected out of the president's airplane, and of course the final battle, because I'm a sucker for final battles. Oh, and in case I hadn't mentioned, Rhodey's also a badass in this movie, as always, which, by the way, speaking about Rhodey, when are we going to get Armor Wars? Because I would like to know if he was really a Skrull since Civil War, or just after Endgame. Because I'm hoping that he's just been a Skrull after Endgame, and not since Civil War, because if so, then, yeah, we're definitely going to be upset about that. Oh, I just realized that was possibly a spoiler for Secret Invasion. Well, probably doesn't matter, because it's not great, unfortunately. You'll know once I do a re-review on Secret Invasion. I know I posted it a while ago, but that just was like, that's why I thought at that time, after fully setting in my thoughts on it, I will say this, my opinion has definitely changed, but I will need to rewatch the show just to be sure if I really hate it or not. Back to topic. So, that's possibly all the pros I got for this movie. As for the negatives, right off the bat, I am not a fan of Aldrich Killian. And after watching this twice, like, this is like my second time watching this movie for this year. I've definitely seen this a couple of times. I'm talking about my second time watching Iron Man 3 this year, as my first time watching this was back in May, as I was supposed to make this review back in May. But still, after watching this twice now this year, yeah, no, I'm not a fan of Aldrich Killian. He's, I would say he's one of the worst MCU villains, which he pretty much is, but it's kind of funny how we had gotten two terrible villains in the same year with Iron Man 3 and Thor the Dark World. And yeah, he is a terrible villain, but Malekith kind of takes the spot. He takes the #1 spot. Basically, yeah, I thought he was bad in this one, but once I saw Malekith and Thor the Dark World, I was like, oh my god, he's worse than Aldrich Killian. I thought Aldrich was like #1 spot. Nope, Malekith's taking that #1 spot because he's legit one of the worst villains in the MCU. But either way, whoever has the #1 spot, they are both terrible villains, unfortunately. As for AIM, I feel like that was kind of wasted in here, because doesn't Iron Man have connections with AIM, with both AIM and MODOK? I don't know. I guess I'm going to have to research about that once I watch Iron Man Armor Wars on Disney+, which is a good show, by the way. But again, I don't know much with Marvel lore other than the movies. I don't know much from the comics, just because I've only seen the movies. I don't know what happens in the comics. The only thing I know about Iron Man, as far as I know, is that he has connections with both MODOK and AIM. Well, technically, MODOK and AIM are both connected with Iron Man. So I'll need to double check once I watch Armor Wars, which I was watching that a while ago. I gotta catch up with that show. It better not have been removed on Disney+, because I'm a little pretty pissed off that Disney+ removed Spectacular Spider-Man. Screw you, Disney. But one last thing before I end up the review here. So, a certain scene happens in this movie, which would be Pepper Potts, quote-unquote, dying. Well, we all thought she died in this movie, which, first time seeing that in the theater, oh my god. Either I was about ready to cry, or I was shocked that it happened, or pretty much a bit of both. I mean, it wouldn't matter anyways, because eventually we do find out that she somehow survived, as she has those heat abilities, or whatever that the bad guys have. I don't know what they're called, but they have. Still, you know what I mean. I mean, this movie's 10 years old. You should know what I'm talking about if you've seen this. And if not, then what are you doing? Why have you not checked this movie out? This movie's possibly underrated. But yeah, I was shocked when Pepper fell down. I'm like, oh my god, she's dead. She's dead. And like I said, I was possibly about ready to cry, but once she just popped out of nowhere, just kicked Killian's ass, I was also shocked about that. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's alive. I will say this, I was definitely relieved that she survived, but just, I don't know, this is just an emotional roller coaster for me. I was like, how old was I in 2013? I don't know, I was a young child at this time. I didn't understand movies that back then, but just like, it was just wild just to witness that all go down. As I'm like, oh my god, how can I like this movie? She died. Oh no. Well, thank God she did not die, because oh my god, that possibly would have been a Gwen Stacy situation in TASM 2. Unfortunately, I did have to go through that once I saw TASM 2 in theaters. And I just realized I still haven't made a video talking about my theater experiences about Logan, TASM 2, and Infinity War. Mainly how 3 of those movies broke me in the theater. Especially Infinity War. But yeah, if I had to pick which MCU movie I enjoyed the most in 2013, I'd go with Iron Man 3. I mean, Thor 2 has its moments, but I'm going with Iron Man 3. Alright, I love Iron Man. Already, like, the MCU would not exist without RDJ. And just, yeah, I miss him. I miss Iron Man pretty badly. Anyways, and according to what I wrote in here, I guess I gave this a rating, a 9 out of 10, as, yeah, I did have a lot of fun watching this movie, but, as of right now, it's probably between 8 or 9 out of 10. I'm not so sure. I'm gonna have to double check what I wrote in my letterbox back in May. But for right now, it's between an 8 or a 9 out of 10. But the first one is definitely the best one in the series, as number 3 was an improvement over the second one. But with that being said, that is my thoughts on Iron Man 3 that came out 10 years ago, as it's 10 years old. I wish I got to review some movies that came out in 2013, like The Wolverine, for example, or Pacific Rim. Unfortunately, I didn't have the time to do that. But hey, I'll be reviewing The Wolverine next year in prep for Deadpool 3. As for Pacific Rim, we're not getting Pacific Rim 3, are we? And with that being said, that is my review for Iron Man 3 that came out in theaters back in May of 2013. Be sure to let me know what thoughts, comments down below, and yeah, let me know if you agree with me that this is a Christmas movie, because it's pretty much a Christmas movie. And I know we did get an MCU project that is a Christmas project. We as far as I know, I think we have 3 projects that are pretty much Christmas projects. One would be Iron Man 3, second would be Hawkeye, as that takes place around the holidays, and third, the holiday special, well, the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, I mean. But with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Now, I will edit this tomorrow at school, and if you excuse me, I'm gonna go watch Kung Fu Panda 3, and possibly stay up late just to get my reaction for it, because if I go to sleep now, I'm most likely gonna miss the bus, and I can't risk that, so I'll just take a nap in some classes. Besides, I have an early release tomorrow. Probably not a good idea. Don't believe that. Oh my god. Yeah. Not a good idea. If y'all haven't seen my Kung Fu Panda 4 trailer reaction, I kinda missed school that day because I overslept. And Dad, if you're watching this, I'm very sorry about that. Just know that I am not gonna do that again. Especially next year. Anyways, here are the pics of me and my brother in our Iron Man costumes that we wore 10 years ago for Halloween. Anyways, bye.